Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Crypto Space. In today's video we are going to cover Kaspa, its recent price action. We are going to cover a couple of interesting charts for Kaspa, and on the top of that we are going to cover a couple of interesting news that actually are bullish. And then of course we are going to cover BTC, its recent price action, and a couple of interesting long-term charts for BTC. So guys, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not a financial advice. And now let's hop into Kaspa itself. Kaspa is currently trading at 12 cents and is currently experiencing a little leg up of 0.9%. Market cap is currently trading at 2.7 billion USD, and 24-hour trading volume is currently sitting at 28 million USD. So guys, if we are going to look at crypto bubbles, we do have a little bit of spike in terms of BTC towards the upside, and as you guys can see, that pulled altcoins much higher. So we do have a green day, and that is good. So one of the daily winners is actually Bonk and Pepe, good for meme coin holders. And now guys, let's cover the chart for Kaspa. So first of all, shout out to Cryptographer, and now Kaspa risk metric at historic lows. This indicator properly highlighted every major high time frame bottom on Kaspa. 50 cents is looking more and more likely. Bullish confluence are continuing to add up for Kaspa. Peak bearishness at 10 cents was a good indicator too. So guys, let's first of all have a look on Kaspa metric historically oversold. So that basically happened last year, as we can see, and that was pretty much, you know, like total loss for Kaspa. And as we can see over here right now, this is basically the same case for Kaspa. So we definitely can see, you know, more sideways price action for Kaspa. However, you know, after that Kaspa rallied significantly, so that could be beginning of something good. And now guys, the crypto tax calculation tool Coinly Official announced that they raised a beta integration for Kaspa. Kaspa is accepted by many merchants around the world, and a tool like this can be helpful for them. Looking forward to the official integration. Guys, I do believe that this is actually quite big. Of course, we don't have smart contracts yet. However, as you guys can see, you know, this is partnership for now. However, you can just imagine what is going to be built on top of Kaspa when these smart contracts are going to arrive. And now another chart. So shout out to Psychologist of Chart. Now, Kaspa has been below the yellow line twice before, staying there for 14 days both times. Now it's below the yellow line for the third time, and 12 days have passed. If it does the same thing again, it should close the day above 14 cents on the weekend. So guys, it definitely could happen. I'm not saying that it's definitely going to happen. I do believe that, you know, we might still, you know, go sideways. Of course, it all depends on BTC. That's why we are going to cover BTC as well. However, if we are going to look at the chart, you know, obviously proof of work crypto is not as fast as proof of stake. That's why we do have to be patient with Kaspa. And now Kaspa is starting to make the Bitcoin maxis sweat. Not sure why they hate, but at a mind-boggling 10 blocks per second, I don't blame them. With that being said, yes, Kaspa has fulfilled the original Satoshi dream of decentralized P2P electronic cash. So let's listen to what Jonathan has to say about that.
Suppose when she created Bitcoin, or maybe I say when she created Bitcoin, but I don't see it as a competition to Bitcoin. Again, it's a competition only if you believe that there's a single point in the trade-off of when designing a system. So, you know, we named Kaspa Silver. Kaspa is an ancient Aramaic silver. This was this was the meme of Litecoin, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even the silver, like the coin, like it's the silver.
Yeah. Coin. Yeah, exactly. So in the ancient world, silver was exactly a coin with a different trade-off versus gold. It was less precious.
So guys, basically what Jonathan is saying is that there is no reason to be scared. Of course, Kaspa is so small in comparison to BTC, and you know, BTC is the king and it's going to stay the king forever. That is our digital property, digital gold. However, BTC fell on the speed and many other factors, and Kaspa obviously is improving that. So Kaspa could be our P2P decentralized transaction meme. And of course, on the top of that, when smart contracts are going to arrive, that is going to be, let's say, like Solana or Ethereum, because obviously many different projects are going to be built on the top of the network of Kaspa. And now guys, current reward is currently sitting at 117 Kaspa. The next reward is going to be 110 Kaspa. Next reduction is scheduled in 9 days. And hash rate is currently sitting at 226 petahash per second, and the highest ever hash rate was 250. So guys, I don't know if you're paying attention to that hash rate. However, that is constantly growing, and that is bullish on its own. I don't necessarily care about the price that much, because obviously I know what I'm holding, and what I do care about is that hash rate consistently growing, and obviously, you know, the reduction in terms of the rewards. So I do hope that it makes sense. And now guys, if it comes to addresses holding over 10,000 Kaspa, that is 140 new wallet addresses in the last 2 days. And now if it comes to 100k holders, that is only 20 new wallets in the last 2 days. So now guys, let's finally have a look at BTC. I am going to cover BTC just a little bit, and then we are going to jump into Kaspa's chart. So as of yesterday, BTC saw negative outflows of 217.6 million USD, and you know, the price actually spiked a little bit upwards, so that doesn't necessarily, you know, is bad. Obviously these ETF inflows have, you know, slowed down a little bit, but I do believe that they are going to pick up. And I do remind that on the 30th of April, ETFs from Hong Kong will be able to purchase there for the public, so that is going to be another liquidity for BTC. Ever since they came out, this is how it pretty much looks like. We had a huge inflows of 849 million as well as 788, so almost 1 billion USD in 1 day. Obviously these are only 2 days, however that is just beginning. These are obviously just 2 months. We are pretty much on the 3rd month right now, so guys, I do believe that things are going to get juicy. And now let's have a look at the 4-hourly time frame. So the first things first guys, if it comes to that, you know, unfortunately I wasn't right, but we got supported on that level of 11 cents, so that is good. However, one thing that potentially could be bad is the fact that Kaspa on the 4-hourly time frame is printing head and shoulders. I don't know if you can see that, but here is the head. There you go, shoulder and shoulder. Of course, this breakout doesn't necessarily going to play out, only because, you know, it looks like that on the chart. They don't always play out, but that's something to, you know, keep in mind pretty much. So let's have a look. So our potential target could be, let's say, you know, areas of 10 cents. So that could happen if BTC is going to see further pullback. Or scenario number 2, we are going to finally spike upwards. Also, you know, the theory of around, let's say 45 bars on a daily, my theory could potentially, you know, send Kaspa, you know, upwards soon in the coming, let's say, days or perhaps weeks. Let's see, let's have a look at a couple of different charts from Twitter to kind of determine of where the market is going in general. Shout out to trader Taringrate. Bitcoin has been moving in multiple descending channel for 2 months. The tendency of descending channel is a breakout upside. Note that the volume has been decreasing, which is considered bullish because it indicates the selling pressure is getting lowered along the channel. So guys, we could see, you know, that breakout, you know, sooner or later. This is basically a shakeout in my opinion. But now guys, this is the shakeout that I just showed you. However, if I'm going to zoom it out, we can clearly see what is going on. So basically, ever since we saw lows, you know, in November 2022 for a BTC, then we saw the first leg up from these lows, and then we had the consolidation, and then we had the shakeout. That's basically meant to shake people out of the market. And now we can see that we have much more of this consolidation. We have legs up, and then shakeouts. However, let's have a look at this recent shakeout, right? So we had a, you know, quite significant leg up, and after that, you know, we had, you know, some healthy consolidation, and after that we saw a shakeout. So guys, do you think that this consolidation and shakeout is different than the previous ones? Well, I don't. And if you would be interested into keeping your Kaspa safe, but most importantly, not only Kaspa, because Tangum supports many different projects, that is basically much safer way to store your crypto outside of exchanges. But what I personally like about Tangum is the fact that you can swap your crypto for USDT in Tangum app. So there is no need to send it back to exchange, you know, after the purchase of BTC or Kaspa, let's say. And with my discount code, you can get -10% off. So link is in the description down below. And now, shout out to income charts. Bitcoin still wouldn't rule out 2 more months of chop in the channel. Even a fake out breakdown below 60k still on the table. We need people thinking the halving was a bust. Guys, that could definitely happen, you know. Obviously, on paper, you know, you are going to lose money, right? And again, I'm not telling you, you know, what to do with your money. Don't get me wrong, this is not a financial advice. I'm just letting you know that even if we are going to see the further further dip, there is no way I'm selling my Kaspa or BTC at this point, you know, of where we are in the cycle. Anyways, shout out to the Scalping Pro. And now guys, if we are going to look at the previous all-time highs, you know, and consolidation either above or below all-time highs, we can clearly see of what is happening, right? That is basically playing out every single time. This is where we are at the moment, guys. So I don't believe that this cycle is different. You know, sooner or later we are going to see that breakout. I cannot really tell you when exactly, but I do believe that this is going to happen. And please remember about taking out your profits. So you basically should be accumulating crypto and of course Kaspa at this point over here at the depths of the bear cycle, and slowly but surely taking the profits out, right? So I do believe that there are still going to be, you know, quite significant pullbacks of like 20-30%. So make sure that you take out some profits along the way as we are going further in this cycle. And now shout out to El Crypto Pro. Soon you will see altcoins at the same time level where BTC currently is. But where BTC has only made 50-70% from here, many altcoins will go 5 to 10x when the altcoin market cap reaches its all-time high. So guys, let's first of all have a look at BTC, right? So obviously Bitcoin reached its previous all-time highs. However, obviously altcoins are going to be lagging behind, and that is good because we can still accumulate some Kaspa, some Render, some ICP, whatever you guys believe in, because we still are hovering around that major level of resistance that leads us back to the previous cycle, and after that all-time highs. And at that time altcoins are already going to see huge parabola of 5 to 10x. So I do believe that great times are coming, guys. And by the way, this Bitcoin chart was a 2-weekly Bitcoin chart, and this chart is total market cap excluding Bitcoin, which means it's including Ethereum on a 2-weekly time frame. And now the last time altcoins broke out of the Gaussian channel and retested it was almost 4 years ago. After that, we experienced a strong altcoin season. Back then, we also saw a buy signal in the super trend as well as the EMA 10, which withstood the entire run. So guys, let's have a look at 2020, right? We have pretty much flipped into red for a little bit to retest the Gaussian channel, and after that, you know, we saw a huge parabola for alts. So let's have a look right now. This is where we are at the moment. So after that, you know, sideways price action, could we technically expect 5 to 10x on our portfolio? Well, that would be great. And by the way, there is total market cap excluding Bitcoin, which means it's including Ethereum, on a 3-weekly time frame. Professor Scott Galloway, for the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. This is the social compact breaking down.
For the first time in our nation's history, a 30-year-old man or woman isn't doing as well as his or her parents were at 30. That is the social compact breaking down. People aged 30 to 34, 60% of them in 1990 had one child. Now it's 27%. People are opting out of America. They're not optimistic about it. They're not having kids. Young people aren't having sex. They're not meeting. They're not mating. The pool of emotionally and economically viable men shrinks every day, which lessens household formation. So we have a real issue. Young people are enraged. So it turns every cut, every movement into an opportunistic infection because, quite frankly, they are just pissed off. They look up, they see wealth, exceptional wealth across my generation and people in certain industries, and they are really struggling.
And the only solution, in my opinion at least, is crypto, guys. And especially Kaspa, this is our chance for that generational wealth over here with Kaspa. Of course, with BTC a little bit. BTC will never gonna hurt, you know, owning at least a little bit. But basically, you know, I'm pretty sure that you have guys noticed that, you know, of course in US, you know, mostly, but anywhere you are in the world, that is basically what's happening, right? Older generation basically, you know, had it much easier because obviously the purchasing power of the dollar, etc., was much higher. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed that quick update, and I wish you having a great day or evening wherever you are in the world. Peace and love, crypto.